Welcome back to Burning River Bushcraft. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Nacatin 60-liter backpack. I started this backpacking series back in the spring and I've had a lot of fun with it, but I have not showed that many budget-friendly backpack options. So this backpack only weighs 2.3 pounds. This has no frame on it, so this is a lightweight bag, but it's full of features actually. This is a 60-liter backpack. So when I said budget-friendly, I wasn't kidding. This bag here only cost $40. So the price alone is going to appeal to new backpackers, but this has a lot of other purposes as well. So it is frameless, and you see it rides my back pretty nice. So I've got wide padded straps, I've got a sternum strap with a whistle. I also have a hip belt with 2 side pockets. Let's start at the top of the pack and I'll show you some of the features of this thing. So here on the very top, I've got compression straps. Now that would be a perfect place to attach a mat or a sit pad. So I've got buckles here on the top for this flap, and this gives me full access to the interior of the pack. Now, a lot of pack manufacturers call this the brain, and this is a handy spot to keep any item that you need access to without digging into your main bag. So this is a really big pocket. And I've got my rain cover here for the pack, and this is included with the pack, even at that $40 price. But I've got a bug net, I've got headlamps, just anything that you really don't want to dig into the body of the pack for. I've got water bottle packets on either side of the pack, and I kind of like these because they've got a strap to support them. You can put a tent or a fishing pole sometimes I'll put in here, and sometimes the elastic and the mesh kind of wears out on an older pack. That's not going to be the case with this because you've got the webbing to hold it in place. Before I pull anything else out of the bag, I wanted to show you the back of the pack. So I've kind of got raised mesh here on the sides. This is a soft pack, so there is no frame at all. Here is the padded hip belt, and then you can see I've got small pockets for snacks or something like that just right on your belt. Now, using a frameless pack like this, there's nothing to really keep it away from your back. Now, this is going to allow a little bit of airflow right down the middle and across the small of your back. Back to the front of the pack, I've got sewn in loops here. And this is a place you could put your trekking poles, you could tie things to your back. I've got an ice pick loop down here. And this kind of carries out the theme through the pack of if there's a pocket, there's usually a web strap to hold things into that pocket. So this folds out of the way, I can undo this one, and then I've got a slash pocket, and that's pretty deep. This would be a great place for a windbreaker, or if it looked like it was going to rain later in the day, you could pre-plan and stick it in here. If you had something that was dirty that you didn't really want in the rest of your pack, this is where these slash pockets come in handy. But I also have a zippered pocket. So the zippered pocket is deep enough for a map, so that gives you some idea of the depth of this thing. So down at the bottom, I've got compression straps, and I have a zippered pocket where you would put your quilt or a sleeping bag. So the zippered pocket for your quilt or your sleeping bag is completely separate than the main body of the pack. You cannot access your sleeping bag, you can't get your sleeping bag dirty from the inside of the backpack. So the top of the pack has a drawstring on it, and this thing's loaded right now. I've got a ReadyWise 3-day meal kit in there, and those things are pretty good size. This would hold a bear can. I've got a full-size tent in here as well. Now there is one small pocket along the back edge of the interior of the pack to keep you even more organized. So if this is the kind of thing you like, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment in the comment box, and ring the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Burning River Bushcraft. I teach outdoor classes at outdoorcore.com. $40 for a 60-liter backpack with these kind of features is a screaming deal, and that is just calling to new backpackers. But this has a lot of other uses as well. Now, frameless backpacks are all the rage right now, and everybody's trying to get as ultralight as possible. And if you started with a bag like this, some of the items that you're going to be using might be used from car camping, or it might be something you made, or it might be a hand-me-down, or it might be a used item. And a lot of that stuff just isn't as small as some of the newer bags. So you're going to have a harder time packing a 40-liter bag, and you just end up with things outside of your bag. And the more things you've got dangling around outside of there, the more likely you are to be snagged up on brush more likely you are to lose things. So it's nice to have a slightly larger bag. This 60-liter bag has a ton of room when you start packing this thing. Another use for this bag is to extend your camping season. You might be a hardcore backpacker in the summer, but when it's cold in the spring or when the weather starts changing in the fall, your gear changes as well. So you might be really dialed in for those June, July, August lightweight backpacking trips. But if you're doing something in March and April, or if you're doing something in October, November, you're needing different gear. And that is the perfect use for a bag like this. It lets you transition from your normal hardcore lightweight gear over to some necessary items for cold weather camping. I'm loving this bag so far. It's going to be a great loaner bag. It's going to be great for a new backpacker, or it's going to be great when the weather is just really bad and you need extra gear. You need warm weather items if it looks like you're going to be wet all weekend. You might need a complete change of clothes or multiple changes of clothing depending on the environment, and this bag here has room for it. It's definitely worth checking out. Till next time, this has been Jamie Boggs with Burning River Bushcraft. See you soon.